Alrighty guys, before we get started, head on over to store.streamelements.com/JLWgames to go check out our merchandise store. I truly appreciate it. We have some really cool merch items, including a Say No to Trims t-shirt. We also have mugs and beanies and a lot of stuff that you could think of. Link is in the description, and thanks so much guys for your support. What is up everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games, coming at you with another cool video. We're back, of course, in the Challenge Park, the new Challenge Park, Winland. And when we left off, we did these this entrance, and we started a little bit on the little entrance plaza and a little bit of the kind of like a little main street. We're gonna do a small little main street. It's not gonna be huge. I like how everything's starting to become a little bit compact, and I think it's a little bit more realistic, because I feel like in past episodes, or like past parks, I do tend to make my pathways really big and just a little bit more open than what is a little bit more realistic. And I got a new kind of vision for where I'm going to go from here. So we're going to get into this episode with a full head of steam. And I don't know how much we'll get done, but I do want to get a bit into the wooden coaster. The first coaster, and I think I'm going to put it over here on the left side, somewhere over here, and I'm going to have it kind of wrap around a bit. I think it's like somewhere over here, and maybe have it wrap around the Ferris, back behind the Ferris wheel a little bit maybe. And there's going to be like a pathway portal that leads underneath it, and that might lead into one of our first themed areas. When we open the park, we're not going to have any themed areas. We're going to just have the park entrance area, which is kind of like an area in of itself. You know, it's kind of like the central hub of the park. And that's basically what the entrance and everything is going to be, is the central area of the park. And then you're going to have like all these like you could say portals into the different lands that are themed. We'll get into those once we get there, but right now we're still just trying to get the park open. So we still have about $41,000, $41,700 left, roughly. So I think that's plenty of cash still for what I have a vision for, and we have basically at least 2 more rides that I want to build. We want to put a thrill ride. I'm going to put some sort of thrill ride over here on the right, and then the coaster on the left. And then we're going to build out the main street, and that's just going to kind of round out the park a little bit, where we're going to have a little area on the right, on the left, and in the middle that leads to the Ferris wheel, and we're going to have lots of shops in between. And I think I might try and build a restaurant as well if we have the budget. It just kind of depends on budget. If we have enough budget, we'll do all that. And if we still have more budget, I want to work a little bit on the aesthetics here of the parking lot, and that's my least worries of my worries right now, is to get the parking lot looking nice. We'll do that later on once we get further into the series, if we don't have the budget, but only if we have the budget to try and get our park rating up as high as possible. So I'm keeping it paused because I don't want to go too far into year 1, because we are going to keep that as a factor, is that we are going to open up at some point in year 1, even if it's like May even. We might open up in May, because I do have to test some of the rides and kind of get that stuff. And I don't want to go too far into it, because we will lose money throughout the month because of like staffing and such. So that is something we have to kind of look out for, because we don't want to progress time too much, because I need to preserve all the money here. So I probably won't test a lot of the rides or the coaster, at least until I got everything that I want in here. But again, we do have loans if we do need to figure all that stuff out. So now that we have the kind of idea of what I want to do, let's go ahead and get started here. So let's go. guys, I just wanted to pop in here after we built our first coaster of the park, and it's a nice classic wooden coaster with a really cool layout. I actually am pretty happy with how it turned out. You can see that there's just coaster track left and right all by itself and everything, and it's got one of those really cool layouts. I was wondering if I should make it longer or anything, but I went ahead and went pretty far all out on this. It's not like a super tall coaster, but I think it's a very good first coaster for the park and everything. It should hopefully have a pretty good excitement rating. You can see there's a lot of pops of airtime, low to the ground moments, and then there's also a couple of big turnarounds that it might go slow through a little bit, but it's a really neat ride. It's going to rock those PTC trains, and I think it's going to be a good addition for the park to get us kind of started. It'll definitely attract a lot of guests, and hopefully our throughput's pretty good. Well, of course, we'll have the priority pass enabled as well. I'm going to try and get some sort of transfer track. I've thought about either putting it on the brake run here or potentially at the start of the ride, and actually putting some sort of like building in here to where there's or just like a transfer ride here at the beginning of the ride, because we have plenty of space here if we want to put like a maintenance shed of some sorts. So we're going to look into that. We did go ahead and work on this building a little bit and a little bit of its interior. I think it turned out pretty decent. Again, I'm not the greatest at interiors, and I probably need to fix this up. In fact, I actually see that our happened here. Our path actually disconnected from the restrooms. That's interesting. That wasn't like that before. I don't know what happened there. The restrooms were connected. Let's see if we can get them back connected. I think I put the restrooms on a different grid, I thought, because it was wouldn't connect, but now it for some reason disconnected. I don't remember that happening. If you guys saw that happen in the time lapse, let me know. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but you can see we have this will add a little bit to the skyline as you're coming into the park. It will build a little bit of excitement because you have the nice Ferris wheel going around right there, and then of course to your left you can see the wood coaster as well. So basically what I'm going to do here is we're going to try and get its station and its little area kind of built up here, while also I want to put like a little bit of a small seating area for like the churro stand, so if guests want to sit down and eat their churros they can. It's going to be a really small little picnic area kind of there, and then we'll connect that with a very small entrance area plaza. I wouldn't really call it much of a plaza, but it's just going to be connected with the rest of the path. And that we'll work on this section here in the next segment here, and kind of go from there. I'm trying to pace myself a little bit with the main street, and because I'm very much not the best at main street buildings and getting like a main street going here, so I'm going to try and pace myself a little bit and slowly kind of work my way through the main street here. I do want to have a little opening at the end here so we can actually get this kind of looped around and create a path that kind of loops the pathway around to the back side here as well. So we're going to do a pathway here and go back over here, and we're going to kind of have the same layout on the other side when we put the thrill ride in over here. I still haven't completely decided which thrill ride I'm going to do, but we'll get into that later. It might not be till the next episode, but we're going to do the kind of same loop over here as well. As you can see, we did eat up quite a bit of our budget with this coaster, but I think it'll be well worth it. We still have $27,000. Just remember, all we have to do is place one more ride, which will eat up, maybe a couple $1,000s, and then the rest is just going to be scenery, maybe some shops here and there, but of course we want to place in a decent amount of shops throughout the paths, because we do want to try and make profits. As for the shops that we have right now, we do have the one right here. And then I also, you did notice hopefully that I did put in a Gulpy vending machine there to make it look like the Coca-Cola Freestyle. Well, hopefully that will visually look okay when people are trying to get soda from there. We have the churro stand. I'm probably going to put a gift shop in here because this is going to be like your emporium or basic gift shop for the park. Hopefully it does well in its location. I'm kind of nervous about that location, but we're going to put shops and facilities throughout the paths here that lead up to the rides. And so yeah, that's one of my kind of big hopes is that guests are going to be passing by all of these shops when they're coming to the attractions here. And my big idea is I do want to put quite a decent amount of shops over here by the wood coaster, mostly because most of the guests are going to be heading towards this coaster first, and maybe the thrill ride too. So yeah, and then of course we have gift shops on the way to the Ferris wheel, which again I am going to change the colors of a little bit, but we did do a little bit of the queue work on it and the entrance. You can see we're going to be using a lot of path covers. I want to make my queues look very, very nice and unique and not look... I'm kind of trying to cover up the Planet Coaster vibe that you get with some of those and everything. So that's going to be kind of the idea with that. And we're going to put a lot of good foliage around all of that as well. And it's going to turn out pretty cool. So I hope you guys hold on, and we're going to try and do a little bit more here in this episode to fulfill our the episode's needs and everything, and really try to get closer to that end goal of getting the park open. I'm not entirely sure how many episodes that's going to be, so just kind of bear with me, and we're going to take this journey together. So let's keep it rolling. guys, we have more of the station done, and a little bit of the plaza coming in here, and the wood coasters turn out pretty good. I'm really satisfied with how the station is turning out. I think it's pretty nice. It's a pretty generic station. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's generic, but I love what happened with the booth here. I'm thinking about getting rid of this little bit of the roof up here, mostly because I think it probably would look a little bit better if it was just a flat roof, actually. So we're gonna go ahead and try that. That'll actually give us a few dollars back, which is what we need. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and get rid of this roof. It was worth a shot, but I think it looks fine like that, without the pitched roof there. And we got a lot of this done. We're not done yet. I still need to add like lighting, maybe some fans, and a few details here and there. And then of course we do have to do the queue line and everything like that. You can see our exit. I've been using this path cover a little bit. I did put down a few picnic benches right next to the churros, so guests can sit down and eat if they want to, and eat their churros and stuff. And then we're going to continue this path back over this way. As for the queue line, I'm probably going to have it up against this brake run. We'll just have some nice switchbacks coming in there, and we'll put the entrance somewhere along these lines. We do have a lot of space to work with here when it comes to that. And then I did start to build this little bit of this perimeter fence. We're also going to have, I think, a little bit of a backstage area kind of going back here that kind of goes with the ticket booth, and also can be like a entry for an employee access entry, so employees can have access to this area. So I probably will put like some sort of gate here of some sorts, so it kind of looks like an access gate of some sort. And then we'll start getting perimeter fences going around the wood coaster a little bit. And yeah, and we recolored everything there, and I think it's looking very good so far. So I think we got some decent stuff done today, and so we got this little Main Street building going, and now we have a wood coaster with a station going. I feel like we probably could have got a little bit more done, maybe, but I think for another episode, this has done pretty good so far. I'm feeling pretty decent, pretty good about this, because all we have to do now is fill up this little area. You see all this green right here? We're going to be filling in that area next and getting all that complete, and maybe one more building right here that sells something else. I was thinking about doing like a little gift shop building at the exit of the wood coaster, mostly to try and push some more shop sales a little bit. I figured that'd be a pretty good thing to do. So we're gonna do that, and then of course I probably need to do some sort of transfer track on the wood coaster as well, and we'll figure that out as well. So yeah, this left side of the park is going to be closing in pretty nicely here, and then we'll get a lot more work on the right side of the park. So and we're getting closer to opening. We're down to $23,850. So I think that's still enough. Again, the right side I don't think is going to be as expensive because we're not putting in a big coaster there. It's mostly just going to be a thrill ride. So once we expand the park, we're definitely going to expand back around, probably back around the wood coaster here, and the wood coaster will kind of sit in the middle of the park. I think that's kind of the idea that I was going for, that it's going to go back over here and kind of serve as a border for the start of the smaller section of the park, and then we can expand the park out this way and maybe go back around, and then this could be on the inside of the park at that point, and maybe even the backstage area can end up turning into a regular path for guests as well, which could be good. So but yeah, when we come back, we're going to do some more touches on the station, and of course just general wood coaster details, and get a lot of this going, and hopefully get the left side of the Main Street kind of all tidied up and all that fun stuff, so we can get a lot more going for us. So if we have some extra budget, I might try and throw in another ride, but as of right now, we're going to start with the 3 rides and go from there, and then see if we have any budget left over after that. So anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe for more amazing content like this, and we'll be back very, very soon with Winland, the new challenge park. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day and cool tomorrow, and goodbye. Alrighty guys, if you guys like energy drinks and really awesome energy drinks, be sure to check out our sponsor today, Dubby. Link in the description. I personally like the Push and Punch. It's one of my favorites. And then once you get to checkout, just use code JLW Games and you'll get 10% off of your purchase. And that's not just the first time, you'll get 10% off every time you order from Dubby if you use my code JLW Games.